Set 21190, The Abandoned Village, is one of 2 sets released August 1st of 2022. This set is especially noteworthy because it features only the second appearance of a zombie villager in a LEGO Minecraft set. The last time we saw one was in 2016 with a direct-to-consumer set that cost $200. We know the figures are going to be good, but how does the rest of the set fare? Let's take a closer look. The theme of the summer 2022 sets for LEGO Minecraft seems to be villager. We've gotten so many new villager variants across the 2 summer waves, and this one gives us yet another one, the zombie villager for a taiga village. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been a hot minute since we've seen a zombie villager. There was one included in a $200 set from 2016, the original The Village set, one of my favorite LEGO Minecraft sets of all time. And because of the rarity of that figure, the 2 that are featured in this set for a quarter of the price are definitely the highlight. Both are nearly identical. The only difference between them is that one features one of those wonderful new straw hats that was introduced in the bakery set and also is included in the Red Barn set. I was curious to see if anything had changed in regards to the face in the 6 years, and yes, there are some subtle differences. The original from 2016 had some additional pixels on his face. It's a similar change that took place with the villagers, as their face print also changed over the years. I do miss the extra pixels, but one change that has been made for the better is the opacity on the eyes of the newer figures is much better. The red eyes show through much more clearly, which is nice to see. Of course, we also get a new player skin. This one is described as the Zombie Hunter. This figure isn't all that noteworthy to me. I like the use of the dark red torso, and then we do get a different skin tone. I believe that's regular nougat, if I'm not mistaken. Perfectly fine figure, great to get another one. In the set, we also get a black cat. This is a brand new cat, actually. There was a black cat released a number of years ago on the Waterfall base, but this one does have a different face print. LEGO is well on their way to creating all the cat variants, which is really cool. This one, of course, would go great with a witch hut as well, which I think is really, really awesome. I love getting new stuff for no reason. It's really cool to see. For the rest of the set, it's broken up into 5 main modules. We'll start with the smallest ones here. All of these represent portions of the village. So this one has a training dummy. Along with that, there's a torch, plant piece, and then these 3 blocks, 2 stairs and 1 regular block, which you can use to furnish the village house, as we'll see later on. The other small module includes a player base of sorts, a little campsite consisting of all the essentials: torch, candles, bed, crafting table, and one of those double-sided furnaces, which is always great to have. This module is especially interesting because underneath it is actually a door. The whole idea of this set is that you, the player, want to take this abandoned village and make it a home for yourself. I might as well mention it here, but the biggest disappointment of this set to me is that there wasn't a normal villager to imply a villager curing process, right? Like having a golden apple in this set, and then also a regular taiga villager, something that we have not seen yet. One of the only village, we have a jungle villager, but we don't have a taiga villager. But I think that 4th minifigure would have been perfect to include here with a golden apple to show that you're not just slaughtering the villagers who could be saved. But 3 figures does seem a little low for this set. Anyway, moving on. You can take this door, and the idea is that you take off the cobwebs here and replace it with a proper door and start fixing up the house a little bit. This next module is pretty cool. So we get a campfire depicted for the first time, which is just a 2x2 jumper with one of the fire pieces on it. Not altogether convincing, but I don't care. I love getting these fire pieces. They are incredibly useful and really, really cool pieces. I'm happy they went with this route over anything else because I'd much rather get this specialized piece. We get an armor stand as well, and we're finally getting some armor in these summer waves, which is nice to see. We get a diamond chest plate and a diamond helmet. And highlight here has to be the addition of yet another blast furnace. Up until now, that piece was originally exclusive to the Llama Village set, a $130 set, so it's much nicer to get one in here. So yeah, that's really cool to see. This is pretty faithful to what you would see in game for one of these armorer blacksmith stands too. This is another great module. It's just a farm. It's pretty simple. Unless I'm mistaken, this is the first time we're getting printless pumpkins, which is kind of interesting to me. I almost wish they had done something like they did with the melons, where you actually get the melon texture printed on one side of them. Regardless, this is more accurate to up-to-date versions of the game where they don't naturally spawn with faces carved on them anymore. Very sad, in my opinion. There's a composter here in the back, which is just a familiar crate piece. This comes with 5 of those 2x2 trans blue jumpers, which is really good. And of course, another cobweb piece. I forgot to highlight it on the other build, but they've been using this cobweb design since the beginning of minifigure scale LEGO Minecraft in 2014. Simple, but essential, I think, for having a village. The biggest structure is this house, which is quite well done. It's bulky, very low profile. It's very well completed, which is nice to see. You don't get a lot of that within the LEGO Minecraft line. This thing is covered in cobwebs. It's got 1 on the front door, 2 on the roof. It's easy to get access to the inside. This just pops out. It's only attached by 2 studs. And there's not much going on the inside except for a stone cutter in the middle. But of course, the idea is that our zombie hunter player comes in here and cleanses the village of all these cobwebs, cleans things up a bit, and makes this to be their home. So you can take all these things from your original starting base and populate your house. Make it a little less spooky, and you can organize this however you see fit. So we can even throw our armor stand in there. But then of course, you take that door, put it on here, and it becomes a much more friendly looking house. That's about it. And I like it. It doesn't have, to me, the wow factor of what the skeleton dungeon set had, but the fact that you're getting what I would call an entire village for $45 feels really good, especially when some of the other village sets, like the Llama Village, for instance, $130, the original village, $200, and even the Illager raid set, which came with a desert village, cost what, $60 if not $70. So yeah, this is a welcome change of pace in that regard. Overall, I think it hits all the points that it needs to. It has these recognizable structures, very decent sized, well finished house. It's got a very nice garden with lots of space to grow any crops you want. It's got this side structure, which for as few parts as it is, has a lot of cool pieces and is very memorable to me just because of that blast furnace alone. But also getting a set of diamond armor is actually very nice. I know that can be quite expensive to get on the aftermarket, and it doesn't come in as many sets nowadays. The only area that it leaves me wanting more is the minifigures. It just feels one short to me, especially after the Skeleton Dungeon set, which was released alongside this, came with 4 figures, 4 actual proper minifigures for $10 less. This set just needed a Taiga Villager, and it would have been really, really good. I think that would have elevated it so much. Taiga Villager and a golden apple. Hopefully one day we'll yet see that Taiga Villager, so I can actually make a Taiga village in my custom world, as it's a really cool village design. I love the aesthetic. This one didn't blow my mind by any means, but I still feel very satisfied with what I got and what I paid for it. If you haven't gotten any of the other village sets, this is definitely a great way to start out, and you get a lot of village for your money. Anyway, that's all I've got for this time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great life. I'll see you later.